All right, greetings everybody, and welcome to week number 14. That is right, week number 14 of your 7314 class, which is your reference class. As always, I'm your professor, Dr. Jace K. Austin, and what we are going to do this week is a quick state of the course update. There's not much to say, and then after that state of the course update, we will go ahead and just share a few foreign language materials that you may find in your library, things that you can. I'm actually not going to demo these, by the way. I'm just going to tell you about them because it actually kind of defeats the purpose to demo these. You know what foreign language software does. It helps you learn a foreign language. And so you can go into these yourself to actually look at the different features and everything. So that's what we're going to do today, but we are going to start out with that state of the course update. Your LibGuides were due this past weekend, so if you have not completed yours, you need to reach out to me and explain why, and we need to go from there. Outside of that, yes, I will be continuing with getting, in addition to the LibGuides graded, hopefully over the holiday weekend. The holiday week, which is next week, Thanksgiving break. Hopefully during that time, I will get a lot of grading done. I hope so. It just kind of depends on what's going on with the family and everything like that. Having a small child can really interrupt the grading. I started this job as a single man, and now I'm married with child, and yeah, things get done a lot slower now. It just is the way it goes, so I apologize for that. But you all are, again, just having graded all of the Wikipedia edits by this point, most of you are in pretty good standing. If you are worried about your grade, please by all means reach out to me and let me know, and we'll talk about it. But I think everybody is actually in pretty good shape. This really isn't a difficult class, and I would say that none of my classes are difficult. I know that there are difficult classes in the catalog, but mine are not seen that way, so there's that. Okay, so yeah, with that said, your LibGuide should be turned in. If you have not completed your LibGuide and published it, please let me know. Also, please do not password protect your LibGuide because that slows down my grading. So if you did password protect it, please unpassword protect it until you actually get a grade. All right. Having said that, keep going with those semester-long projects, and you do have one more. Actually, let's go ahead and put me in student view here. You do have one more discussion board prompt. I see actually one of you has already done the final discussion board prompt, which is due on December 5th. Outside of that, yeah, just a semester-long project. That's pretty much all you have to do. Keep up with your readings. But yeah, next week is a holiday week. Thanksgiving week, and then after that is your final week, and then after that you have your exams and everything. So you all have pretty much made it through the course, so can give yourselves a pat on the back, but still put forth that effort in that semester-long project. Okay, all right. So with that said, that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and look at some foreign language materials that can be helpful for you as a librarian. Hold on. All right, so again, I'm not going to demo these. I'm just going to let you all know that these exist. And then if you want to master them, then contact your local public library to see if they either have Mango or if they have Rosetta Stone. And then if they don't have either, then you can ask them about Duolingo, which they may or may not have like tutorials or resources on, but there's no need for them to have Duolingo because Duolingo is free. And as far as I know, there's not an actual library app for it. So with that said, yeah, let's look at some of these different resources that you may have when it comes to learning a language or learning a language or that sort of thing. Okay, so really, that was confusing. So really what these language learning softwares are for, now again, you can use them personally to learn a language, and I've recommended that to people. Again, when I had social media, when I had Facebook, I would recommend it a lot, especially during the pandemic, and people were like, well, what can I do? I need something to do, blah, blah, blah. And I would be on Facebook saying, hey, if you're interested in learning a foreign language, see if your library either has Duolingo or Rosetta Stone or Mango. And some people, I think, actually took me up on that. There were a lot of likes. I don't know if they really followed up, but, I just put that out there for people during the pandemic. And, I'm sure that's what some people spent some of their time at home during the pandemic doing. All right, anyway, so let's see what these things are. The most common resource that you will find for learning languages in libraries. And in addition to personal use of you or your friends using this, when it comes to library patrons, a lot of times the people who are using these learning language softwares are people who are English as a second language, and they're coming in and actually using them with help to learn English. But there are people who also come in if they're preparing to study abroad or something like that, then they use these sorts of things. Or they don't really use the language learning apps if they are just planning a vacation usually, because typically what those people do is they'll just check out like a CD or a book with common phrases from the library and then have that on hand. Okay. So this is something that you'll use every now and then, but it's not something you're going to use a whole heck of a lot in a public library, but it's still good to know these things exist. So again, Mango Languages is the most common one, and Mango actually does a lot at library conferences. You'll see that they usually have exhibition booths, exhibit booths. I'm sorry. They usually have a lot of times, I shouldn't say usually, but a lot of times they are sponsoring different conferences. They put a lot of money into sponsoring conferences. They also put a lot of money into even throwing parties at conferences. They've done quite a bit of that. So Mango is very well known. They're very well liked, but they're not necessarily the best. I've kind of looked around all of these three language learning apps, and I would say that I don't really find any of them to be particularly better than any of the others. They have strengths and weaknesses, but I will say that Duolingo has grown a lot, and I really do mean a lot, within the last few years. All right, so yeah, let's oh, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on, let me see if I can get myself back up here. All right. All right, so how it works, how Mango works. Learning a new language isn't easy. It's a commitment which requires consistent interaction with the unknown and the unfamiliar, but one which leads to rewarding discoveries along the way. A blend of the right content at the right time with intelligent algorithms, high quality audio, and powered by proven technologies. Mango's adaptive learning process evolves to your progress and unique learning behaviors, preparing you to start a conversation with confidence. Okay, so that's the sales spiel. I will say that I've never been I like Mango and what it offers, and you do have a for one thing, you do have a good pacing of the learning with Mango. So you'll see right here, these are some of the little sample, I guess, learning lessons. This is very bare bones. And then you'll see it expand a lot once you actually get into the Mango database. But again, this is kind of what they do, relevant learning material. You do have the high quality audio, which I guess I can't play it from here, but I will say, if you trust me on this, again, I'm not going into Mango right now. I don't have that. But if you were to go into Mango, the audio quality is very, very good. You can very clearly make out what's being said, even in the foreign languages. If you may not know what when one word ends and another word begins in a foreign language, but the way Mango has the audio, it actually is clear when you are trying to follow that. So like if you saw this, and I guess I'm assuming this is French, bonjour, je m'appelle Philippe. I probably butchered that, but I will say that the audio on the app will not butcher that. Okay, you will hear that perfectly. You will know when bonjour ends and when this begins and when Philippe begins. Okay. And then conversation-based methodology. Yes, there are ways to kind of interact. They used to have actual avatars and you would kind of interact with them, but I think they phased that out. But I think Duolingo actually has that now. So there you go. So, and again, Mango is very common. They have a lot of languages. Let's see. Yeah, all languages. So, oh, well, that's good to know. Yeah, let me go back to the other thing too. So these are the most common languages, but it's not everything, right? So this is going to be everything, and you'll see you've got some languages that aren't, a lot of times you're thinking that they're going to be either European or East Asian languages, but that's not always the case. You have Hindi, you have Hebrew, you have Swahili. So you do have some things that are not either European or East Asian. And then you have dialects. So yeah, you've got Portuguese, but they've also got Brazilian Portuguese and that sort of thing. So they're making that distinction. So you've got a wide variety of different languages. And then when it comes to You even have courses, which I've never gotten into this, and I don't know if this comes free with the library edition. But yeah, you do have premium courses for learning these different languages, and that includes some of them have even classroom guides, but not a lot of them. But if we scroll down, I'm sure, yeah, Chinese, French, German, those do have a classroom guide, so that's pretty cool. All right, so that is Mango. Let's go ahead and look at Rosetta Stone real quick. All right, so Rosetta Stone Library Edition, this is, or Library Solution, I should say. This is another one that is considered a full text database. I see. I was not aware of this, and I don't know when this happened, but apparently EBSCO has some form of ownership within the Rosetta Stone Library Solution. And again, I'm not sure when that actually happened, but yes, as you see right here, Rosetta Stone offers libraries and their patrons the proven immersion method that thousands of organizations have trusted for more than 25 years. And that's actually, this is something that I've noticed. I remember when you would see a lot, and I really do mean a lot, of Rosetta Stone commercials on TV about 20 years ago, 15 to 20 years ago, and you don't see that now. Lord, 15 to 20 years ago, I remember it well. Woo. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting old, but yes, 15 to 20 years ago, there would be a lot of Rosetta Stone commercials, and you would see Rosetta Stone on sale at places like Best Buy and Target, which I don't see the commercials now, and I don't see the package, the Rosetta Stone package on sale at Best Buy or these places anymore. And it could be that they don't sell software like that anymore. I don't even know. I'm just growing so old at this point that everything is passing me by. I don't know if Best Buy is where you go for software now or not anyway. But yeah, I do remember when you would be able to buy like $250 or $500 Rosetta Stone things for your own home. And now I think that Rosetta Stone is working mainly with libraries as opposed to selling their services individually. I don't know that that's their primary market. I'm sure that what's happening is they get a lot of money from EBSCO to offer the library solution. So with Rosetta Stone Library Solution, you get core lessons to build reading, writing, speaking, and listening skills, focused activities, and that's a big thing. You do need that interaction in those activities, and then mobile apps that enable learners to reinforce language acquisition on the go. So you do have on-demand videos. You can listen to stories in foreign languages within Rosetta Stone to get kind of a good idea of, just listening to the language and understanding it and that sort of thing. And then audio companions, and you've got alphabets for most languages they have. They don't offer as many languages as Mango, okay? But you still see your major players are there. And again, you are not just dealing with European and East Asian languages. You do see, you see Turkish, you see, even though Vietnamese is East Asian, it's not Japanese or Chinese, which is what you usually see in these language offerings. You have Farsi, you have Korean, Filipino. So you do have some things that Hindi again is there. So you do have some things that are not necessarily offered a lot of times in your schools that just focus on European and Eastern Asian languages. Okay, so that's Rosetta Stone. And again, if you want to learn more about these, then just go ahead and find some resources online. The final one I want to talk about is Duolingo, and Duolingo is free. So what I want you all to know is that if you are dealing with a public library that doesn't have either Mango or Rosetta Stone, then everyone can get Duolingo, and what you probably want to do from there is just sign up for Duolingo. You can use it in your library, even if it's not a library resource. And then a lot of times there are some libraries, and this is why I specifically chose this page. There are some libraries that have created tutorials for Duolingo. So you can find, actually, let me see if I can just Google that. Duolingo library tutorial. Let's see if there are any tutorials out there. Yeah, so, well, no, I don't know if that's a librarian or not. But, okay, so even if you find these tutorials, they may not necessarily be produced by libraries, but again, I know that one that I was just in was produced by a library, but even if they're not, who did this? I'm kind of curious now, sorry. Pause. Okay, so yeah, I don't actually see where Duolingo is, where this lady here who has produced this video, I don't see where she's an actual librarian. I thought she might have been, but she's not. But you will find, again, libraries that have created their own Duolingo tutorials if you look around, and so those could be useful for learning that software. I mean, or learning that library resource. And again, when it comes to people who are taking vacations and that sort of thing, just make sure that your library has plenty of books that, if you're a public librarian, I should say, make sure your library has plenty of books that are a quick guide, English to whatever translations that people can just kind of check out and take with them on vacation. And that tends to work just fine, okay? CDs can also help, by the way. I still have CDs. I don't know if any of you do. I still have a CD player, and I still check out CDs from the library if they're audiobooks or that sort of thing. So lots of things that can go on there, okay? But yeah, let's leave it there. I am Dr. Jace, and people who need foreign language help should be given grace, because foreign languages are very hard to learn and master. So yes, give those people grace. I will see you in 2 weeks with your final check-in video. Take care.